Welcome to the grand final of the PGL Europe Minor Championships 2017. The very last game of not just this minor, but all of the minors. We now have all 16 teams locked and loaded, ready for the offline finals. Just one thing to decide: who are the champions of the Europe Minor? $45,000 on the line, 30k for the winners, and it's Big versus Penta, an old rivalry that seems to have been going on for the last 6 months since Big formed in January, and they've had plenty of history between the two, and it's gone both ways on many occasions, so who knows where this one will go. Luckily for us, we have two experts on the desk. Just Harry is back with us once more alongside Dorin. Gents, this could be an interesting final. They are the best two teams, we've already established that. Strategically pretty strong at the EU minor so far, so where's your money?
I mean, I understand why Penta traditionally have beaten Big, because I actually feel as though they have similar map pools. And I actually, as much as people are hyping Tabson, I think Sonny is every bit as good as him. I think they're both really talented players. And obviously the fact that one of them's even newer, maybe he's got a higher trajectory. Tabson has been around quite a few years. He just never played at this level a couple of years back. So I think history certainly favours Penta. Obviously, Big's coming from the lower bracket, which doesn't really matter as much in this format. It's not an old-school style double elimination, but I feel as though Big still have the better team unit aspect. The system's more stratified there. So, yeah, I'm still thinking Penta's going to take it. I'm going to put it on the star player aspect and say that I think their skills are a little bit higher.
A little bit more weight on Sonny's performances. Big have proved many people wrong over the last 6 months. I remember when they came onto the scene in Leipzig and people were kind of like, yeah, kind of could have potential, sort of could be okay, and they were expected to do well at that event. They did all right. And then since then, they've had some ups and downs on the way, but they've gotten better with regards to this kind of tier of Counter-Strike and done okay, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always been a big kind of supporter behind Big. I think that they are a very, very, very good team. But they are kind of a team that's always that runner-up. And I would hate for that to even be the case here. Once again, kind of, the duel versus Penta. I actually think Big are going to take this. I think we're not going to see history repeat itself. I think Big are the ones to do this. They've already played, four maps today, so they're nice and warmed up. They're ready to go.
Well, if they're not warmed up by now, they never will be.
Wait.
Okay.
So first of all, you have picked so many wrong things. You already had Dignitas earlier and that other one before, right? Didn't you say yesterday that you had been backing Penta from the beginning? Okay, so what's changed then? Explain to me, what's changed?
Well, when we saw Big play today, I think they brought kind of with them a ferocity, I can't say that word.
Ferocity, yes.
That's the one, thank you. and a confidence that I haven't really seen them with before. And Godby was making some fantastic calls. I think that he was really kind of fully reliant on everyone. It wasn't just the Tabson show. And I think because it was kind of spread evenly across the team, and it feels like for once Godby has a full team he can rely on, as long as that continues, I see Big winning this, and I think it will. So that's why my heart's changed, because I was Penta. But yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the Penta lineup as well. You've already highlighted one particular player in this lineup as the star of the team, and he has been the star. It's been Sonny, but the other players have all had their moments as well alongside. We've seen some decent rounds, decent halves from Innocent. HS has had some really good rounds on Inferno in particular. I remember Crystal at times has come up with those incredible... I remember you and I watched in absolute disgust at one of those rounds where he was just firing off the AWP all over the place and hitting everything.
Yeah, well, that's the key thing as well, is that if you look at the roles people have gotten, it seems to have really freed them up from past teams. Actually, it made a lot of sense, Innocent's interview, about how in previous lineups he'd been in Poland the last couple of years, he was very much more in kind of a supportive role, and therefore he was never going to shine as the star player. It was others within those teams. Because 2-3 years ago, actually, he was one of the best players in Poland. He looked like a potential Virtus Pro recruitee, as it were. I think actually this role of in-game leader seems to fit Crystal as well, because when he was just the primary AWPer of attacks and Penta and stuff, he was a little bit underwhelming, I'm not sure he was suited to being the full star AWPer, whereas as just the AWP and just the more supportive player and the in-game leader, I think that's suiting him a bit more. It's taking a bit of the weight off his shoulders. Zen's the one I'm still not quite sure about, He's the guy where I think sometimes he can look a little bit out of place, but just the impressive part about this team is that man for man, they've had a really even kind of distribution of good performances, and then above they have one guy who's really been standing out, which is Sonny. And the key thing is, like I pointed out yesterday, for anyone who wasn't watching the earlier parts of the tournament, it's not that Sonny's looked impressive by getting the most insane headshots you've ever seen or some fantastic game. It's a very solid kind of 20-30 kills where he really dominates his spots and his duels, and he has kind of the confidence exuded within his performance that suggests he's a top player. They play in that particular manner, so I feel like that's replicable as a result, and you can expect to see it show up in matches like this.
Yeah, Harry, they've got some form. these two. I've mentioned at the top of the show, they've played each other a number of times over the last 6 months. It's shaking out the way that Penta would like it to shake out over the last few months, certainly. They've played each other in 2 grand finals online. Both times Penta won 2-0. They also played each other in the closed qualifier, which Penta also won.
Yeah.
Big also have a big win over them as well as qualifiers go as well. So there could be a little bit of needle here, couldn't there?
They're the team that Big can't escape Penta, Penta can't escape Big. They always seem to kind of meet at the apex of these tier 2 tournaments. They're the ones that go head to head. And I think it's because both of them are close to being the team to kind of break through, and it is just that kind of infinite tug and war back and forth. Seeing who is the better team. And we've seen them play quite a few things. You got the Mountain Dew League finals. Then also the...
I believe you've mentioned that a few times.
Yeah, but I'm bringing up more. Farm Skins Championship. Wasn't involved in that whatsoever. Don't know who was. Yeah, shocking, right? I know. Okay. I know the people who were. Supposedly that event was pretty decent. And we've seen Penta win out there in the grand finals, for example, where they took first. So it has just been this backwards tug of war. And I think... Big, they're out for some revenge, and this would be the place to do it, right? If you were going to finally, kind of smite them down in a grand final, now's the time to make that a reality.
Yeah, okay. How important is the veto in this one?
Well, the interesting thing is part of the reason I actually think as to why Penta's been able to consistently beat them is that the veto is actually very, very shared between the two. And a crucial element is that the guys from Penta do not want to play in general. They don't like to play Nuke. And actually, that is the do not pick, basically, for the Big. They never pick it. And then another map that the guys from Penta are very good on, actually, is Train, and that's one that's also a permaban of the guys from Big. So when you consider that, basically, if you Penta, you don't have to worry about Nuke, because no way they're picking it. In fact, they're going to leave it. That means that actually they have to go ahead and either ban Nuke or ban Train. In this scenario, you can kind of shift the veto a little bit in your favor, and then you have shared maps anyway. So if you actually are just a better team, you're getting a chance on every map to maybe beat the opponent. So I think Big certainly are good enough to beat Penta, but I can see it being very comfortable for Penta, and if they show up with their full game, I think they're going to have a slight edge.
Okay, let's have a look at the map vetoes. I think we can look at those now. You'd imagine... I was going to say Inferno was going to be a challenged map because they both seem to be comfortable in it.
Here's the interesting thing,
hasn't been picked.
No, what's happened is they've actually... This is another thing that sometimes happens when you play a lot, is that eventually, if you're Big, you've lost so many times, you think, let's toss it all out and go the other way.
Yeah.
So what's actually happened here is, yes, we've had the Nuke ban. Penta have actually forced that out of Big. I think that's actually a mistake, quite frankly. I'm almost certain that Penta would not have picked it if they'd done that. But as a result, Penta have been able to pick Train. So they're going straight into that. Strong map for them, one of their absolute best. Now, Overpass is a good pick in reverse from Big. That's not such a good map for Penta. And obviously, Big have shown a couple of good games on it here. But yeah, it's the Inferno one that is bizarre to me. I don't understand that because neither of these teams, fantastic cobblestone teams, actually both like Inferno. You'd think you'd just say, hey, if we get to a third map, we're both good, and let's see who wins on that one. But actually, they've gone with this one where you go in the opposite direction. You're sort of saying, let's see who can actually play this map that's a bit further out of the map pool. So I'd have to say, in terms of the overall map pool, I think it's actually edged a little bit towards Big. I feel as though Big are the ones that have shown me they can play extra maps, they can play cobblestone. So I still will say Penta will win the series, but I think Big have done very well on this map pick here. I think that in the end, they got where they wanted to, even though they had to start with that Nuke ban, which could have been questionable.
I'm not entirely sure I agree. I think the cobblestone pick from Penta is pretty decent. When you saw Big play on earlier versus Envy, they got that really big lead early on.
Hold on, Harry.
Okay.
The key word there was Envy.
Yeah.
He's made a mistake, hasn't he?
Yeah, I have. Don't worry. Ignore me. Okay. When we saw it, so what I was going to say anyway, the main point being is that whenever we've seen Big and Penta play it in the past, Penta have usually been the team to win on cobblestone. The only time that actually Big was able to beat them on it was at the ESL Pro League relegations, and that was kind of a hard one for Penta to deal with. But even that went through to overtime. We saw it go 19-17. It was a very close game. I remember watching it because I was quite invested in the storyline and seeing who did move up. And, I think ultimately that's a pretty decent pick for Penta. I do agree, though. Inferno still would have been a good one for both teams.
Penta beat Big in the close qualifier 69 on Inferno as well. So there might be a little bit of that in the background going, we don't want to play them on that again. They're they're too good for us.
I do think as well it's quite obvious that Big are struggling on Inferno. If you remember the other day, we saw them get completely ruined on it. I think that was by Dignitas, if I remember correctly. 16-2, right?
Totally changed round from the previous group stage and suddenly fixed everything they could on CT.
Yeah, I think Big are worried about that. That's why I reckon they got rid of it. And then Cobblestone, still going to be a good map for them, but it is one that kind of historically Penta have had a decent time of. So I fully understand that Inferno ban. And then I think Cobblestone was kind of the best out of the two for Penta to pick.
Yeah, you can see the boys just making their way through into the player room. A little bit of hobble there. What's he done? Hope nothing serious. Yeah, apparently he's had that hobble since yesterday, so maybe he has maybe he's pulled something. I don't know.
Maybe
but
carrying
okay.
too hard.
Carrying too hard. Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's an interesting matchup between these two. Do you think this is going to be a strategical game, Thorin, or do you think maybe now that the pressure is off of having to try and qualify, because that is such a big focus for all the teams, isn't it? Trying to get that security of the place in the offline finals. Maybe they just go gung ho now.
Well, the big problem is if you're a team like Big, usually what happens is you will always return to the idea of, like, we just go with what we prepared. Like, we do the odd thing differently, but in general, we want to return to our tactics. But that's the problem when you've lost to the same team so many times. The temptation actually is to do the opposite, and it becomes one of those game-within-a-game scenarios where you're trying to fake them out and do something unusual, and then they're trying to not do what they've practiced because they don't want you to have scouted the demo. And actually, obviously, if you're the Penta guys, you actually have a little bit of an edge in terms of knowing what Big will do, because you watch them play now, and they haven't had time to go and watch all your demos again, you know. Like, they've had to focus on Envious and then on Dignitas. So I actually think, in a sense, the preparation advantage shifts a little bit to Penta as well. And so if you're Big, I'm not sure actually which way you should go on that one. It's probably a game-time decision. You know, do we try something new? Do we stick with what we did before? And if we really think it's better and we're going to win that way, go with that. So in a sense, I think it's kind of Penta's game to play in that sense.
Yeah, maybe game one is the time to risk it if you're going to do it as well.
Seems like everyone's favouring Penta here.
It does, yeah. I mean, they've been the best team so far. Haven't lost any of the best of threes or any of their group stage matches. Let's say hello to our commentary team for the grand final, because of course Henry G and Sadikis. Gents, are you on board with the Penta?
Absolutely not, and here's why, Paul. Yesterday, when this started, Big actually was playing a bad game. At hour 4, Porsche went to 56th overall, stayed in the garage, were done for, just like Big, and they're about to win Le Mans, so Big's about to win the minor.
I hate nerds.
I love the fact that you've brought some motor racing to the show. It needed a bit of gravity, a bit of substance from motor racing world, and
so it's good.
Every
now and then it brings it in.
Yeah,
so
you should have gone with this line. Here's the thing, Matt. Maybe, you know, Penta is so close to winning, but like Dick Dastardly, you know, they will actually have some sort of wacky crash near the line.
Yeah, maybe they'll be like Toyota last year. You know, at least Toyota last year did 23 hours.
Henry. I don't know why I did that, mate.
So, yeah. It's fine. Toyota will never win Le Mans, apparently.
No, they won't. They're destined never to. And the only races that Thorin watches are obviously the wacky races. Anyway,
only races I care about.
He's a Penelope pit stop fan, it seems. Anyway, let's cut the rubbish. And gents, please do enjoy the grand final. We're going to really enjoy listening to and watching the match.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is a good little rivalry that's brewing between these two teams.
I think Thorin called it El Clasico earlier. I think that was kind of pouring on it a bit thick, but it was still, it's a good matchup. It's a good final, and we did see it in Mountain Dew finals. That was actually quite cool. Penta ran away with that one. It's going to be big. That actually goes to the Pro League next season, so you know what, that's a nice rivalry going on there. We've seen Big play, 4 maps today. They're looking pretty good. Not their best, I would say. But you have to remember, they played against a very kind of weak Envious. It's difficult to gauge that much. I think Envious is probably the worst performance I've ever seen from them ever. Ultimately, that was kind of shocking. Dignitas as well, bit of a wild card in that sense, because they're still technically 2 months old. They're going to struggle to have that much depth throughout the tournament. They can't really develop the strategies that intensely. They have got better, but Big did look like the better unit today. Yesterday, I thought Big generally looked very poor. I think that was a really horrible showing from them. It seems like they've rectified those mistakes now. Tabson's back on form. We're seeing some good performances coming from Kiev as well. The AWP play seems to be on point, which I'm happy about. I have no idea how Penta's going to turn up today. I'm not sure how much pressure gets to them in these big finals. They do have the lion's share of victories at the lands against Big so far. So I guess we do have to go with Penta. In terms of the map pool, we kick things off in train as well. We know they can both play. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with the final. It's nice to see these two teams coming at it once again. Like we said, it's a nice little rivalry. And I'm not sure. I'm really happy the Penta's kind of developed into this unit that's actually reliable now. And I guess we've got 2 of the MVPs, Matt, from the entire tournament, Sunny and Tabson on either side, which is quite cool to see.
Yeah, I favor Tabson in that, but Sunny is definitely up and coming, and he's showcased himself in this event. And definitely have to watch him moving forward. So I think those two head-to-head is excellent. I think as well the AWP play, you've got to continue to watch Kiev going up against a bit more loose style on the other side of things. So it's interesting. HS is also impressed as Croman's come into this. So there's a bunch of different things to watch. Unfortunately, Croman gone obviously now, but it's a similar story in that they started off a little bit slow, a little bit timid, a little bit hesitant, and now HS is really rolling and taking the entries. I think probably been the best entry fragger in this tournament.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been 4 days here at the Europe Minor. Here we are, the grand final. As you can see, two German organizations at the top going at it. It's going to be Penta versus Big. And we'll have 3 sets of arm on the T side here for Big. We've got 2 smokes as well. Known to be a very tactical team. We'll see what they can bring to the table here in the pistol round. They've got a few flashbangs to work with as well. I'm waiting for some aggression from the CT side as well. Not sure whether it'll be coming in or not, but here we go. It's going to be Kiev towards Ivy to strike first. Innocent waiting for him. He gets the better and takes him down.
Innocent going to peek back out with the flash. That helps him get away as well, or does it? Because Tabson's there with the Glock. Good headshot, Sonny. Unfortunately caught out in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to go. His Nex is going to get a headshot into HS. Crystal will do all that he can. Not much with a smoke down. 1 versus 4 as they plant the bomb on the A site. Don't even need to go to B. They know where he is, but fine. Strength in numbers. Fight him, boys. Home to the dogs. Tabson certainly will.
Good round there from Big once again. They seem to be on point with the pistol. I think it's envious. They took all 4 pistols in the 2 maps they played. I've liked their strategies. They seem to be quite concise and they know what the plan is at the start of the round. Aggression coming in there from the CT's. Innocent shut down there and then exploited by the T side of Big. Looking very promising here as we kick things off in this best of 3. We're going to have AKs coming out, UMPs as well. This is my favorite sort of buy map. You know that. Don't want to have the full array of UMPs. You want to have some long range potential in there as well. Penta will be force buying into this. We've got Deagles, 5.7s, and PT50s as well.
Sent down. Porsche has officially won. Just so you know, they just crossed the line.
Brilliant.
And Aston Martin passed Corvette on the last lap.
Shocking.
Thank you. Glad you care. Sonny's going to push up 1v5. Not much to talk about. Just pistols, Hank. Armor for Sonny on a 5.7, so if he gets a kill, could have something in it. SMG picked up, now worth saving. He made save as well. He's building up cash every kill he gets. Started this with no money left in the bank. He's up to 950.
Well, this round should be secure by now, but Sonny with the UMP armor. Got a Molotov and a 5.7 as well. Definitely worth him saving it. Like you said, he's managed to pick up a couple of kills with the UMP, so some money farmed, and they will be fully EK next round, but the fact he can drop that 5.7, the Molotov could be beneficial next round, probably not, but I'll give it a go. And if he can just take that UMP into the next with the armor as well. Oh, another frag comes in, that's not bad. Takes down Legia, limiting the terrorist economy as they go forward, so might be able to upgrade even further. 3 kills in total now for Sonny. Like we said, one of the MVPs of this tournament so far. As it comes down to the bomb explosion, they do indeed win the round, but not as strong as it could have been. Sonny definitely showing he's turning up to this grand final today. A player to watch for the future, I'm very sure of that. Well, there it is, round number 3 coming in. Nothing really that the CTs can do. Like I said, Sonny can drop his 5.7 over. That'll go into the hands of HS. Another promising prospect from the lower tiers of CS. From Estonia, another big name there. Obviously got Rops joining Mouse Sports. Now HS starting to show his hand in Europe as well. So that's quite cool to see that nation developing as we get into round number 3 here. Got a smoke and some flashbangs here for Sonny, but that's about it. No kit. Maybe that would be the... I'd rather get that than all the utility. Just in case you do get enough frags, get that kit to maybe bring the round victory. But he opted for flashbang HE grenade instead. Big down. Mac 10 in. Quite a common strategy these days. And against the unarmored opposition, can mow through them. This looks like they're setting up for an outside pincer. You can see one player towards Ivy and Nex by the main entrance as well. They have got inside control from Legia, so options still are plenty. Don't have to fully commit. They're probably trying to find their first pick and then go into some sort of execution.
Zen's going to back off Legia. Ready to go at the call, at the drop of a hat. Zen's going to give him a lot of room to do so. Sonny with that SMG has put himself in good territory at A main. He actually may hear a rotation coming in from Kiev that he could at least get the kill on, but he's going to let him go above inside the site, though. Tabson's already there with the bomb. That will go down. Rotations come in. Let's see what damage they can at least try and do on the CT side to the economy. Do still have Sonny trying to push up behind them. That's their best bet if you can farm some cash inside of the upper halls. Getting closer, Tabson getting Zen. Like, you're going to find Innocent. All straightforward. He's got 2 HP, so can't do much more. Problem is he's got to also get out of the site, so Smoke. Try and do so. HS, 1 HP. Sonny on 10. Sonny wants to save his gun as well, and that'll be it.
That will be it indeed. Sunny does definitely save the UMP. That's the best bet. Certainly a viable weapon. Means he can drop one going forward. He'll probably drop the UMP, I'd imagine. Being their style player, he wants to get the M4 out. But one of the players is struggling a little bit more. I'm having a look at their money right now. Possibly HS can get the UMP instead. Sunny's going to be always certainly dropping that weapon. There it is. He gets the M4, gives it to Zen. He's the other finished star of the team. There he is. And Crystal, AWP, just about squeezes that out. This is certainly what we call, I guess, a bonus round this time for Big. They've got the Mac 10 there, Legia on the UMP. I know God B, he is kind of vanilla Counter-Strike player. Goes back many, many years. And these are the sort of rounds you want to go very quickly on, overwhelm the CTs and try and get out as fast as possible and use his SMGs. And that's exactly what they're doing. Straight towards outside. Smokes down as well. Flashbangs are good, but they're taking a lot of damage here.
Damage indeed. Crystal got the leg onto Legia, so Innocent was able to spray him after he got next quite quickly as HS holds off Tabson. Wants for him to do duel with Goppy. I would have thought he had that. Doesn't, but bonus round in effect.
Yeah.
So therefore, Bigger still fine. They'll be able to bring up guns again right away. In fact, quite comfortably bring up guns, including an AWP if they want to. Tabson's the high roller, so he throws it to Kiev. Or Nex, okay. This is interesting. What's the spawn?
No, it's gone back to Kiev.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess
that
it
makes sense. Just transfer.
Just juggling it around.
Yeah, trying to get it over to him, I guess.
So yeah, like we said, that's the bonus round, right? So it doesn't really matter the outcome. You know it's unlikely you're going to win the round with a Mac 10 and UMP, but you go really fast and you make it a close situation. Then the next round, if you do with that, you're going to be completely dumping Penta's economy in the bin. But here we go, round number 5. And looks like we'll be going into more of a default stance here. Keep getting set up towards main entrance. Might be trying to go into that first pick. He's going to be looking towards Ivy, of course. Doesn't see anyone just yet, but there it is. Takes down Innocent. Lovely work. That's one of the Polish players for Penta drop now. So 5 on 4, plenty of time remaining as well. This is a dream scenario for a T-side team, especially when it's execute-based like Big. You've got to forcing rotations now and waiting for reaction to CTs and trying to bleed out their utility before you make your final move. They have inside control as well in terms of the brown halls. Legia smoking down the lower ramp. I'm not sure if they use that. Considering they have no presence elsewhere, I think they will. Taps into going first. Let's see if he can open things up further.
Zen gets 1 kill only. Tabson, he only get the assist on it, but Legia is able to follow it, so they still get a bomb down. Important kill from Sunny, though. Levels it before the bomb plant actually comes all the way through. Good flash in, HS, but unfortunately he walked through a smoke into the flames. So despite getting the kill, it's job done from Gobby to hold him off. Legia has done even better, because AK left alive gives Kiev a lot less pressure on the AWP to hold off the post plant. Jump up from Crystal, and a little bit haphazard. He tries to look above. It's down below. Legia wins again.
Good job there by Big. Like we said, that's a big round for them, but still, they haven't completely reset Penta just yet. There's going to be 7k available for Zen and Sunny. We know he survived like 2 rounds in a row, so he can actually drop an AWP. That's exactly what he's going to do. Double orbs coming out. This is an audacious play. I do like it, though. It's a grand final, and I guess, like we said, they've already qualified, right? And this is just for money. So I guess you can afford to be a bit more cavalier, and we'll see if this works out for them. Number 6, and Big there with the opening pick from Kiev. I don't think he'll be expecting AWPs against him this round. I'll follow him as we get into this encounter here. Go for the wall bang. Guardian likes these ones. No damage inflicted just yet. Kiev have been playing very well today, I have to say. I didn't really rate him before this tournament, but some of the plays he had, especially against Envious earlier, that ace he got on Cobblestone was pretty unbelievable. As we get into it, CT's trying to hunt for some information there. Innocent did push towards the end of Ivy, but didn't get anything for it. Final buy is 2 orbs, 2 UMPs, and a 5-7. So Sunny and Zen to deliver here. Funny thing is, Crystal's traditionally their orb player, and they've got 2 orbs, and he won't be wielding one of them.
Zen's gonna back off early again. Sunny ticket's good for the outside take if they go for a smoke set, but it's 3-2 split with 3 inner, which doesn't necessarily mean that they will. Tabson's gonna check off Pop Dog. Could use some Molotovs to make sure that he gets himself down there, because then he doesn't have to pop flash in or risk it. He's already inside of the smoke as well. Gobby can sit behind it. Can Tabson surprise them now? That's the better question. Flash in, HS overcommitment. Somehow Tabson doesn't hit it. Surely he had to expect that fight with the flash down. HS clearly wanted the position, but Gobby gets it back instead. Sunny. Even misses a few shots that maybe potentially should have hit. The last one, the ladder was the hardest. That one had to hit, wow. Sunny. Absolutely, that had to hit. Because now the bomb's going to go down at a 4-on-4, and Kiev knows he doesn't need to repeat that position. He could just watch off toward Hell, where Crystal's playing, or down towards Sandwich, as it appears he will next as this angle. But it means less risk, less chance of being picked off. So less chance of a retake from the CTs.
Seems to be working out, though. They're finding a couple of frags here. Now have the man advantage. Keeve, low HP as well, comes out to next. Not been playing amazing this tournament, but he finds a couple of frags here. The defuse coming in, but they get off it. I think they had to commit at that point as well. Keeve battling back still. The full defuse coming in, and Keeve stepping up there. That's a vital clutch. Penta fully invested with the double orb setup. It was tight, but Big come out on top there. Very chaotic towards the end there. Full defuses coming in, and next had to find a couple of kills, and he did just enough there to take the full defuse off. I think you stick on it at that stage. I think it was like 3 seconds remaining. I would have taken the gamble, considering it was a 2 versus 1. But Big starting to run away with this now. That was Penta. Double orbs. No money disappearing. It's going to have PT50s into round number 7. So we're kicking off the final with Big with quite the lead here on a CT-sided map. 5-1, and the Mac 10's out once again. No armor, just one flashbang for Penta.
So Lagia, Mac 10 to try and build up some cash. Smoke off the Z connector and a Molotov to hold anyone that would be behind the smoke because he wants the entrance to be clean. Thompson's going to run in and immediately go by everyone. Just a P250 as it's innocent to get Tabson down. Lagia does respond. Money's all over the place in this game.
It really is. It's been quite chaotic, and that's what we expected. These two teams have played each other a lot. They know how each other played. The mind games begin in a grand final like this. Probably the most surprised party these two teams have ever played for right now, so this is quite exciting.
Would it be more than Leipzig?
I think so, yeah. They're just 50k total, right? And
Yeah,
I think Leipzig
right.
probably would have been, maybe it was a little bit more, I'm not sure. I think it was probably about similar. But certainly in like a grand final, right? Who won Leipzig in the end? It was like Gambit or something, right?
Don't quote me. Yeah, that could be right.
I'm not sure. But
Might
either
have
way.
actually been. Let me look. Might have been flip side.
Someone like that. We need to start going to more DreamHack events.
We do. It's hard to remember all of them though.
Anyway, we're going to get into round number 8. You can look that up.
Yeah, flip side tactics.
That's
over
okay.
Big.
Oh, cool. So they were in the final. Anyway, round number 8, and Orb's back out for Crystal this time. As said, he didn't get a chance at a double Orb setup. Fast play from Big, though. Should be shut down as Crystal sees him running through the smoke. Still not out of the woods just yet, though. HS sitting in the smoke, and it's going to be trades all over the place here. But for now, Penta lead the charge, and HS a chance to find his all kill on the ladder. A bit dicey, but he gets it.
Luckily, he had the element of surprise. If that was a rifle and not an op, he might have gone down there. Might have indeed. Big lead this time for Penta. Godby's position is peculiar, though. I don't think... Yeah, this should be a free kill at least on the Crystal.
Yeah,
they don't even consider it. No way they expect him to be where he
shoot
is.
away, okay.
I think he may have thought he was going to look that way because the way he was approaching into the cubby.
I guess, to be fair, he's an all off the other CT players, so it's not like he could have really taken them both down with the UMP. Hello, now we got a round.
Yeah, because bombs were covered out of this as well. They don't take Tabson back. They know exactly where Godby is. Going to plant at the very least? No. Surprised by that because he just walked by that angle and Tabson was killed in the side. I would have thought he would have expected both to be further away. We will get the plant. They'll allow it.
They think it's
to overcommit. Do they really? What? His HS clearly doesn't.
Yeah, I saw his teammate rotate up towards Hot Dog.
Yeah, was he trying to go Z to surprise him and split them up so they could get more information or not? Because I'm not. Anyway, interesting. They get it either way. HS with the kill.
Yeah, but these rounds are very costly for Penta. Each one they're winning, 2 players surviving. Probably gets another kill there. That could have been hugely detrimental. He just dropped the orb. Okay, give it to Zen, as I say. That's an interesting decision. But 6-2, Penta. Still going to be a struggle to reinvest into these rounds. And Big, they're changing the pace each round. They're saying they are the most adaptive team at this tournament, and they've proven to be so far. Actually having a nice array of tactics. And just to note, Matt, as well, this is Penta's pick in this best of 3. So need to start stepping up now. It still is a CT-sided map, but this is a great scoreline for Big. Even if they finish this 9-6 against them, they'd probably still be relatively happy. So anything else at this point, I'd say is a bonus. Keep with the AWP. Crystal will be challenging him at connector this time, though. He's going to be flashed off, falling back. Same smokes. This could be a little fake, though, because we've got one player who's made his way out towards Olaf. That's next. And the rest of the team ready to go inside. I like this a lot, but Zen seems to be aware.
That is aware. Oh, is he, though? Certainly knew they were there, but not ready for the fight as Lagia gets him on the SMG, running, of course.
Sick tactic.
Yeah. Still holding the angle inside of the smoke. If they push through, he's got them. And Tabson's racked in behind them. Funnels them all toward Tabson just for having that presence, Lagia. And he doesn't miss duels too often, at least not this weekend, at least not this last 2-month period, if I'm honest.
So, exact same smoke season in the previous round map with the fast-paced outside play. They send one player out by himself, who was next, and then they're ready to go inside. That's a real nice call from Godby there. Just as you've put the fear of God in them on the outside area, saying, we're going to keep rushing you, we're keeping finding close rounds, the bomb's being planted, do the exact same smoke, flashbangs come out as well. Back to inside, simple pace play there, and tabs on the upper ramp. Just brutal with the AK-47. Looking so good here. I think he does have the potential. Might seem like a bit of an exaggeration right now, but I think he has got the potential to be a world-class player going forward. In the next 6 months or so, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be turning a lot of heads. And I actually asked Godby in his interview earlier, like, what happens to Big if they lose Tabson? Do they still have a kind of deadly team here? And he kind of said jokingly, like, well, no one's ever taking Tabson. So you got to think, though, there's going to be players and international teams that are going to want to pick him up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if this team fizzles out and they don't actually develop into a Tier 1 team, Tabson becomes an international option. We just talked about the improvement of international teams and the viability for it. Sonny waiting. Here's the Molotov down the ladder.
Just to know as well, I think they fully invested into this round, so they have indeed. So all they can really bring to the table is a Scout, a UMP, 3 pistols, no kits, no nades, apart from Incendiary and Sunny. So lose this, and you're almost certainly double eco. This is like all in right now. This is more so than ever, and Kyiv opens things up. Perfect so far. And against these sort of buys, get that first pick, wait for the reaction, full execute, stay together as a 5-man unit, pin to the bomb site, should be absolutely fine.
Ooh. Good smoke. Loved it. That was intended to go right side. It bounced behind them, so now they've got to go with force. Yeah, it works. The nade works. Crystal goes down, so they'll get the position anyway. Godby's going to push all the way around toward Hell. Good trade from Tabson. It gives them the entrance. Weary of the fact, though, that Zen and Sunny have found kills to bring it to 2 versus 2, so they've got to stick together and protect the planter.
Finished duo. Let's go.
I think they might be finished, though, because they're not anywhere nearby and there's no kits. Still evaluating it. If Sunny gets someone off guard from this position, then they go, but I doubt they do, and Kyiv's got the kill. Sunny at this point, not sure what he's playing for. No chance in it. Get a kill, get away. It's all he can really hope for. At least snaps one. He might actually get both kills, but no chance. Tabson, that was quite quick.
Yeah, but if he goes down there, I guess the 10-second DP still can come in, but
kit.
He doesn't know for 100% he hasn't got the kit, right? So I'd say definitely guarantee the bomb, but still they win, so whatever. This is kind of eco for this point. They can buy next round, so Thursday lost bonus after this one. This is starting to get a bit scary, Penta. They have to full eco here once again. PT50 and armor for Sunny. Just have a look at the scoreboard, shall we? Penta, of course, Sunny top fragging for them, 11 kills. HS not far behind on 7. And we have Tabs on the other team. The 2 superstars definitely turning up for either side. He's on 12 kills. And the Gear, who's been stepping it up today. He's had a lot of criticism in this event. He's on 11 kills, 5 deaths. So fair play to him. 4 USPs, a PT50. That's all the CDs have. This is almost guaranteed to be 9-2. Penta, going to say it, they're going to need every single round after this one to stand a chance in the first map. Their pick.
Yep. Try and take the corner with the AK. Look at the ladder position from Sunny. He'll peek from Crystal.
What the
He
hell?
won't even need to. That's ridiculously good accuracy.
That's almost impossible. I don't know how he's managed that at that range.
Yeah, the first one okay, but the second shot as well, that's even more impressive. Godby gets Sunny back, who's the man who didn't even have to move on the first one, so they didn't go for the bait and switch afterwards because Crystal had already left. They may pull this round back, but that shot stands alone is pretty incredible.
That's so nuts. If he can get a replay of that, that'd be amazing. Not sure that's possible, but I'd like to see how he did that with default pistol by himself at that range. Anyway, like you said, the round recovered, but still sending out a message. Crystal is not messing around today. Manages to recover the AK-47 and bomb planted round over. If he can save that, that will certainly help. They get $2,400 into the next round on top of their current 2K bank account. So still enough to buy it. I'm not sure about the AWP situation. Crystal's probably got enough for just about a glass cannon, but he's gone down now. Does not save that AK. And Legia giving him the old nice shot in chat. You guys can't see that, but it's nice to kind of feedback and how the guys are chatting to each other. Innocent, the last player remaining now. He'll be towards Ivy. No kill, no upgraded pistol, no armor. Hoping someone gifts him anything. Might as well just die at this point.
9-2 for Big. Apparently playing all day has warmed them up, and they're up for playing a 5th and 6th, maybe even a 7th map on the day for them.
I think they'd like a nice 2-0 here, just all things considered. Because the fatigue is real, though. Like, I remember when we used to play like proper tournaments, like double elimination, full brackets, right? Playing 2-3 best of 3s in a day is really kind of exhausting mentally. And especially as in-game leader, you still have fatigue. And luckily for them, they only played 4 maps. It could have been 6 in total, right? And they haven't been too precious in that respect. So I guess they're fine. But so far, so good. Round number 12. And like we said, Crystal down to just that AWP, no armor, no kits available, no incendiaries. Penta really clutching at straws this time. They do have the rifles though. Sunny towards outside, and this is looking potentially like another inside play, sorry, considering they have no Ivy presence whatsoever. Everyone's with a Pop Dog. Zen's alone, but he has got backup from Crystal at the connector, to be fair. He's watching the lower ramp, but uses the smoke and just bleeding out CTs right now. It is big.
Yeah, Zen has to have backup to play that position through the...
Yeah, well, considering he's only got a flashbang now, like he can't really hold inside by himself, right? It's almost impossible.
Well, that angle's interesting, though, because normally you see people playing on the other side of the spool to bait them in. He's trying to get a cheeky little peek.
Well, tension rises now. Penta don't really have much to work with in terms of intel. It doesn't look like the intel play will come in. Next and Godby rotating to main entrance. We have Pop Dog control from the terrorist side as well. HS patrolling that area. No nades remaining, just the M4A4. Sunny has to go aggressive here, playing in front of smokes and flashbangs and hope he can out-aim these players here. See on their face, they have no idea what's coming in. Here's the final commitment.
HS playing well again, but this time with 1 kill, he's not able to double up. Being outscaled in most cases. They walk in, it's Innocent that gets Godby down, but decided off of Kiev. May not open things. This time he's got a little bit more than he did and was able to find on Overpass previously. And they've pushed the CTs well off the site, which means the plant comes through yet again for Big. And Zen's dead. Yeah, Zen's dead. Blinded up. Perfect. Oh, that's not, it's not a 1, do we call that a 2G where his teammate threw it and then he died in it?
No, did he kill himself?
Oh, he did say he killed himself. That's right. It would be a team kill. That's right. It is a 1G.
On train as well, you love to see it.
Yeah, you do. Doesn't really cost them the match, but
it's not quite the same.
1G boys, get it in chat anyway.
I'm sure they'll be loving it in Twitch chat. But still, Big, another great round for them. You can see exactly what they want to do. They're just holding out. They know the money's low. Make Penta sweat it out a little bit. Beta all their utility. Nice simple execution there. Molotovs all over the place as well. And the combination of flashbangs and Molotovs, when smokes are down as well, can be really confusing. A couple of players just running into Molotovs there, even killing themselves with Molotovs. And this was a nice play coming from Pop Dog. Well, okay, so HS kind of lets his teammate down there. Sunny is very aggressive. HS had to be at a more aggressive angle, right? The fact Sunny died from Pop Dog and HS is watching it, that's the whole system. He's supposed to be covering each other and preventing that being a possibility. So there he is, old Legia. He's desk smashing today, it seems.
I was going to say the same thing. No more, or you lose the final. They said they were kicked out if they did it again.
Oh yeah, 6 had to go.
6er did have a go.
Tactical pause, yeah. Probably need that at this point. Matt, they have to buy the rest of these rounds. This is their map pick, and CT side getting absolutely wrecked here. They've got no real money.
What time is it, Henry?
4:30.
4:30?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to end games, especially at PGL studios where we have all these overtimes. We're not supposed to end until like 1 or 2 a.m.
We're supposed to miss the after party.
What are we supposed to do now?
Turn up at the last 10 minutes, everyone's going back to the hotel. Then that's when we arrive.
I don't know what to do with myself. How could I be fashionably late when we're so early?
Yeah. You could go to sleep for a few hours, I guess. Watch them all racing. Is there any other races on?
Well, I'm watching the DTM race right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Wickens is 11th. He hasn't had the best start to the season, to be honest.
We'll check in with that later. Hopefully he can step it up.
Yeah. It's going to be Lucas Hours here. Wickens is going to have to play rear gunner to him, I think.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, didn't win last year when he should have. Next, toward A main. AK-47. Kiev as well with a flash out. Gets held in position, but he's definitely doing exactly that, holding position. They don't want any aggression from the CTs out toward Ivy, and they're going to try and bleed out Penta, especially after a timeout call. Let's see what they really want to do.
Clutching still. This is almost guaranteed to be 11-2, but still Innocent with the rifle. He's currently on 6 kills, 9 deaths. No one really going wild on the Penta side. I love this slow play from Big, though. Just you can see everyone on Penta's like a little bit cagey, not sure what to do here. Next, almost a guaranteed kill here. There it is. Good stuff from him. Nice to see him getting some decent impact kills like we've discussed in the analyst desk in great detail. A player that's dropped off the face of the planet in terms of relevancy, in terms of top-end Counter-Strike. Used to be such a great prospect of German CSGO. And it was a shame once he left Mousesports, you kind of never really saw him again. This project of Big's been fantastic, I have to say, but I'd like to see him stepping up more. I think he is a fantastic gamer and a great player, and that's another example of that.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Zan.
You hate to see it.
Gives him a kiss.
Or don't see it if you're Tabson.
Oh, I was about to say 5 seconds left, but I didn't see the bomb going down, it's inside. So it does get planted, very calculated stuff. What a masterclass from Big this has been.
Yeah.
Sending on a message in the grand final on their map pick as well, saying you pick whatever map you like, we'll still completely wreck you on them. Do we think Big could ever be a contender against some of the big boys in the top 10?
I'm going to say it. I think they can actually make the major.
Yeah?
I think they can be one of the teams there.
Someone from the minor system has to,
Has to,
right?
because yes, only 7 can return. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be more than that.
Okay.
Because if you look at Flipside struggles, yeah, okay, Blade's kind of an interesting in-game leader that he kind of, in majors, always had this weird way of surviving, and they got through, and they ended up sending Nip down to the qualifier, which ultimately sent them down to the minor, which sent them into, eternal hell. But, I could see them struggling, Optic struggling. Yeah. Definitely could see.
They're the most structured team I've cast in a while. It's actually quite refreshing. Like the amount of tactics they've got and the variations. We saw the sick fake you used earlier as well. There's been a lot of teams that won't be able to handle this sort of playstyle. It's more traditional Counter-Strike than current CSGO meta. Like this is like kind of 1.6 style, like slowing things right down, executions and waiting for reactions. It's a really nice way to play Counter-Strike. It's like proper CS. Lots of walking as well. Like the CTs have no idea most of the time what's going on. Even they hunt for information, they're running into crossfires. You can see Penta can't get anything done here. Look at these positions. Godfrey's got a nice system here. I was doubting it yesterday, I have to say. Like, the performances they showed, I wasn't really believing, but obviously just an off day for them and look refreshed and ready today.
Through, forcing Innocent off the angle again. Brought over and let Crystal play into the inside of the site instead, so that's a change, an adjustment Penta are trying to make. Innocent flashes back in, but watch Lagia, he's already made his way out of the upper corner. It's his position, it seems. That's where they want him to try and enter. Absent, try and enter it long, gets downed by HS, but he got Innocent before that, one of the 2 players holding him off.
This round's over, 10 seconds. Surely can't plant.
Gonna try. Gobby's gonna try and defend the planter. It's a good important kill through the smoke. Low HP had to hit that one on Zen, surely, but Sunny's on the flank. Even if he did, they were sitting ducks and the bomb would have been denied. So good round finally from Penta.
The third is on the board. Something to work with at least, and we said Big. This slow pace system has been great so far, but that was a bit of a stretch, a bit of a miscalculation there from Godby. They get to the side finally with 5 seconds remaining, means one player is removed from the situation almost instantaneously. He has to just focus on the plant. Spray down coming in, decent flank from Penta. They finally get number 3 there. So still not really recovered, I would say, at this point. Still a very strong chance of it being 12-3. That simply isn't going to equate to a victory here on Train, especially when you've started on the CT side. But if they can get 11-4, maybe there's still a chance. They win the pistol, of course.
Just flashing himself out. Good timing, but goes the wrong side of it. He actually had a kill lined up. Next gets away with one. Sunny got a kill before that, but things are gone again. That's a really good entrance from Nex over toward Crystal. Zen, channel your inner Zen. Put your yoga mat in the same position we put ours in. Thorn will tell you which way to point it. Nex will take down Zen. Half's going to end 12-3.
I'm happy with Nex's performance map. It's actually looking like the old days a little bit. Getting those headshots, looking quite confident of himself. I love these executions, Big bringing as well. Everything's kind of calculated. You see the smokes deployed in the perfect positions. The Molotov's there, so you don't have to look in certain areas. Flashbangs are good, and Big running away with it. Penta is so overwhelmed right now. 12-3. on their T half. That's almost a guaranteed win. It should be at least anyway. We have seen CT side struggles throughout this tournament, and T sides is like it's really difficult to really gauge kind of like tier 2, tier 3 CS. Sometimes like one half can be amazing, they can all crumble in the second. I think a big win this pistol though, that's going to be an open shut case. That's game over. So see what Penta can bring to the table here. 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes, flashbangs, and a Molotov as well. Smoke and Molotov suggest to be towards inside. You normally have that Molotov for obviously the post plant situation to allow you to smoke off the upper ramp, Molotov from the upper ramp and deny a defuse. They've left the bomb in T spawn though, so Tabson, lots of damage. Look at that.
Look at that.
Just look at him.
Innocent's gonna go back to get the bomb. Nope. Leaving it there on pistol rounds interesting. Because pistol can often be explosive, that even when you're playing picks, as soon as you get a kill, it opens up the site. So they have to go back and get it. It's like and Kiev toward Ivy that are about to get challenged. Interesting play in that they're going to go for a 3-2 split with a push through B in the smoke. Tabson's found Zen, so that'll take away the flank that they wanted to put in through Z connector. But it's all onto the side. Legia gave up Ivy, but he's going to set for hell. Good position to be in. Down goes HS, but surprisingly, as fast as Legia hit the shot on HS, he managed a shot before that, and Tabson will get Crystal as well, but it's only Innocent remaining, and it's big to take a 13th round, and we're almost done.
Tabson is on another level compared to these guys, I think. Just looking so good right now. 19 kills with him. A pistol going in favor of Big. That pretty much signals the end of this map. They're going to have to force buy here with no bomb plant as well. So that means Tech 9's armor, a buy we're not very used to seeing, of course, but a lot more pressure applied to it this time. They might not even get a chance to show us how good their T side can be. Underperformance so far on the Penta side. Crystal, 4 kills, 15 deaths on a map like Train as well. That's not really good enough for the AWPer. 6 kills for Zen, and Sunny dropped off towards the end of that first half as well. 14 kills total after mid-stages being about 11, I think. 13-3, as said. PT50s, Deagles, Tech 9s. They had to go some PT50s on some players, because Tech 9 armor, that's all you can get without the bomb plant, right? And you have no nades at all. So you have to go to PT50, which is slightly cheaper, 300 instead of 500, and means you can get some utility to work with. Keeps spots a couple, stops the smoke to buy himself some time. Looks like he'll be absolutely fine for now.
Well, smoke execution again, but the bomb gone. Got B pre-firing as well. Innocent just falls into the bullets. Fair enough. Kiev will go down to make sure that he secures the position even if they get Gopi, which they do, but the bomb's not going anywhere. That's not going to be planted. 14 rounds for Big. No extra injection of cash, so good luck.
Not even getting pumped up now. Got B's. It's like, it's kind of easy, isn't it? Bit of a walk in the park. Penta have not arrived so far on their map pick. Timeout. Okay, if I'm the in-game leader of Penta right now, I'm like, boys, I don't want to be a pessimist, but might want to start thinking about the next map at this point. I think this one might be done. We've got no money. They're 14-3. Like, it's one of those things with in-game leader you could never really say, but in your head, you're just thinking about the next map right now. Like, you know this is done. Like, it's just no way about it. You have to be realistic sometimes, and okay, nice little smile there from Kiev. Maybe he is a bit of a joke, a prankster, Matt.
I think he is. I know
sure, but maybe he is.
It looked like maybe something might be possessing him, but if you look at it, he looks at the camera at the start and kind of does a little wink.
I was skeptical when he said that, but now I've seen that kind of grin from his, staring at the camera. Maybe he is aware, and it's a new next level of humor he's got. Still, 14-3 has to be full eco. What can you do? It's over. It'll be map point, I should say. But it's joining us to the grand final. It's the first map of 3. This is Penta's pick, unfortunately for them. Completely wrecked here on Train, and looking down the barrel of map point, they have to go Glocks, no armor. So if Sunny can go wild with a PT50, maybe they've got a chance. I don't know.
Thompson's actually going to rotate off of it and let his teammate get closer on top of the Train. That's Kiev. So you think he positioned himself to watch upper, but he's not going to. Tabson will re-smoke as well in toward the ramp. Flash out, taps and drops down. Keeve getting the opener though. Oh, true. Palmer to be planted. Just deny it, just deny it, just deny it. Oh, he's late.
Here we
So
go.
they do get some money for the next round, but we're still going to be on map point. Ooh.
Hang on.
What do we, sorry, what was I hanging on for?
I don't know.
I couldn't see the sun through the clouds.
Oh, there it is. You got 2 good puns now. You had finished, now it's time for the clouds. So you're stepping your game up in the grand final.
I always do. I always do. I've gotten used to grand finals now, you know. Took a while to get here. You know, we were kind of like the Danes. We just always kind of choked out in the semis, but now I'm ready. I'm developed.
Well, maybe another pause. I'm not sure. No, it doesn't seem to be called. I think Penta probably running out of them at this stage. They get a bye though, map. 12 rounds in a row, T-side. Let's go. Like I said, if I'm the in-game leader right now, I've already forgotten about this map. I'm thinking about the next, which is Overpass. We've already seen Big play that twice today and actually look very good. So,
Yep. They have. Big has looked very, very good on it. And it's hard to believe this is Penta's choice. As if they picked this way to die.
full inside execute. Deep breath. Hope for the best, I guess.
Tabson. Molotov's down at the ramp. That's going to put them in an awkward position, but HS gets Keeve. Good opening again. Position from Tabson wants HS to wrap around. Little does he know, Nex has already gotten that kill. He doesn't have to watch the angle anymore, but does. And he just watches a little message on the screen so that they've won. They calmly walk away. What a dominant performance. 16-3 for Big.
Yeah, you know, Matt, I normally kind of comment on the bad things that happen, usually. But to be fair, I think that was all just down to Big, who's looking completely out at another level to Penta that game. Obviously,
They've looked on another level to everyone today.
Yeah, and tactically as well, that was perfect. In terms of the stars aligning for them, every player seemed to turn up. And Penta, to be fair to them, they haven't played 4 maps today. They're coming to this kind of cold, I guess. They've probably been playing on the practice species and stuff, but just didn't seem ready for their map pick. That does not bode well going to the second map, which is Biggs on Overpass, and this could be a quick 2-0 in the grand final. We normally expect this to be the best game of the tournament, so much on the line, the money. Obviously, these teams are qualified, but it's not really hyping me up so far, that performance from Penta. Sunny had some good rounds, but we're only getting 3 on the board. It's difficult to really say this can go any further than 2 maps.
I absolutely agree. I don't think this does, and I think that's awesome for Big that they've come back after yesterday's bit of a lackluster performance.
Yep.
And they're just bodying everyone at this point in time. That said, we'll send it back over to Paul on the desk.
Indeed they are. Thank you very much, Matt and Henry. Of course, we'll go back to them for game number 2. Oh, we're going to get a game 3. I'm not even sure we are right now. It just seems bigger on a roll, and they've won 5 out of 5 today. With all of the matches they have to play in this lower bracket, you'd have thought they've showed some fatigue by now, but they haven't, Doran. Just seem to be carrying on from where they left off.
No, and that's actually the key detail about this match for me, because this isn't one of those matches where one team was dominated and you spend all the time focusing on, oh, they were so bad and so terrible, because first and foremost, actually, I think you have to point out that this is T-side train, and they absolutely dominated it, but in impressive fashion, yeah. So a lot of the reason, actually, I think, as to why this was so one-sided was on Big, actually. It wasn't lack of firepower, even though I think that was a factor for some of the Penta players. Yeah. I think they were just overwhelmed, and they had no response for some of those outside takes. It was very, as Henry said, it was very structured Counter-Strike. Like, you can tell, nowadays in the modern meta at the top of Tier 1, people talk a lot about how teams just have an initial setup, and then from that, people just make solo players out of it. Big have a lot of those 1.6 style strats where when you hit a site, almost every smoke is planned in advance, and it's always a specific route someone's running. And so an example of that in this game is, yeah, as usual, watching Tabson get very impressive kills. But this was a match where Nex was very effective, actually, and part of the reason why was it seemed like they sent him to specific areas again and again, and he kind of knew what his job was there. And then, yes, he was able to get kills, and that's a key reason it was better than in some of the past matches. So I think you have to just start with how great Big were. And then beyond that, I just feel as though some of the Penta players didn't show up the way they did in all the rest of the tournament. I don't know if it's the final or what it is, or in fact they know they're already qualified. But yeah, Sonny had a few nice moments, you know, even he wasn't top level. Some of the others non-existent though.
Yeah, is there an element here, Harry, that maybe Big are very warmed up right now, and Penta, this is their first map of the day?
I mean, bigger hot right now. You know?
Are they?
Yeah. No, they're
on fire.
They're above and beyond warmed up. There was a lot that went right for them there. They kept the economy of Penta just completely ruined on that CT side. I mean, we never saw them with a lot of money. They were in kind of this situation where they would buy, lose the round, have to save into the next, and then just rinse, repeat that over and over and over again, which caused them to lose loads back to back. We also saw something I really liked. One of the sort of setups that we saw Big opt to do is, and we saw this a couple of times, was they just play, they wait out early on. That's Godby's style. He likes to kind of play things very, very passively in the beginning, wait out that utility. That also helps keep the economy low. And then they would just kind of blast their way on in through A main and through Pop Dog. And occasionally, if Tabson was still alive, you'd kind of see him flank round in through Ivy. And there was just no remedy from Penta. You know, they might be able to find Tabson, but then that's kind of shifted the players over towards Ivy out of position and then leaves one guy in the site all on his lonesome. We saw them try and fix it by sending, I think it was HS and Sunny, aggressive up towards A main every now and again, and it just didn't work. They were just being out-aimed. The utility usage from Big was pivotal in them securing it because they had loads left and Penta had none.
Yeah.
And then it would always just kind of be the retake coming in from that B-bomb site. And I kind of felt bad for Zen a lot of the time because he was the man trying to do it, and he'd just die instantly. There was nothing he could do. So very well played from Big.
Yep, great game from them. Great game from you-know-who again. Let's check out the MVP board. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's right. It's Tabson again.
How many MVPs does he have?
I think he has about 7 now. 101 and 95 ADR, 7 retakes, a clutch, 2 trades, 3 opening kills, 6.13 impact rating, 19 for 9. Another impressive game, Duncan.
Yeah, it's just a rock. I mean, you know, this is an example of where I actually prefer the ADR stat over kills alone, you know, because not many kills. And in fact, someone like Sonny had not that far off in terms of kills, but the impact on the game, I mean, the ADR tells it all there. Like, you're just doing massive, massive impact, especially when you're playing a terrorist side. You know, it isn't always about you securing the kill, but you run out there and you put out that kind of damage, in, you know, on average, round by round, your teammates are going to pick up on that. It makes it easier for them. You're making your teammates better in that sense, which is often what you don't think about with fragging. So I think it's him within that system. This is what I really want to see in the coming months. Like, how much of it is his fantastic play is what Big's been able to do around him, and how much is him individually? Because at the moment, you can go one way or the other, depending on how well he's playing, and then how well his team's playing around him.
Okay, we're going to get more from both of you in just a moment. Of course, we are getting towards the end of our minor season. Not just the EU minor, but all of the minors have been taking place over the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've seen them all come through various different areas and various different regions as well. And all 9 teams are now secure in their positions in the offline finals. So, what to look forward to next? Let's take a look.
Very uncomfortable on the seats play somewhere, right? Oh, look at this. He's got it! Skedaddle is a hero! Away offers, so flashbang comes out, goes, what a clutch from KNG.
And there we have it. The 16 teams for the offline finals are getting closer and closer to the major, PGL major for Krakow 2017. Just one more qualifier after this. It's been such a long road for many of these teams. Harry, you look back over that, you've casted an awful lot of the various different qualifiers, open qualifiers, closed qualifiers, and so on. Remarkable road for me of all of the teams that have gone through this is Dignitas. Just because they went through 3 of those open qualifiers, the closed qualifiers here, and still have 1 more to go.
Well, something kind of funny when you look at it, I'm fairly certain that out of all of the teams that have qualified, the two of them that have come through open qualifiers are here. Like, and they made it, and that's Big and Dignitas.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot their name. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really neat thing to look at, right? I mean, they kind of had to go through the exact same processes you and I could have done almost, right? And
oh God, let's not stretch it too much, Harry. Right? Let's not get too carried away.
We wouldn't have done it, but yeah, I mean, the fact that they came through that and now they're here and they're the ones that are going to be attending the major qualifier, I think that is really interesting, especially when you consider that I think there's a good chance for one of them to actually make it through to the major potentially.
Now you're testing Duncan's patience.
Well,
I can
could
feel
happen.
it from here.
These things can happen, you know.
Can they?
People make mistakes. For all we know, someone trips over, breaks their hand before the game. Listen, I'm not ruling anything out.
I'm just saying that. We'll
That's
keep
optimism
an eye
in my
on Big.
world. By the way.
No, quite. I was going to say it's very optimistic.
Yeah.
He's become far too soft in your old age. We've also got a number of things going on in terms of giveaways right now, of course, and we'll talk about a giveaway in just a moment. But before we get there, and we give you a chance in Twitch to win some very nice pieces of stuff in CS. You know what I'm talking about. We are going to check in with one of the main men of this tournament. He has been fantastic, great in-game leader, and has taken his team all the way to the grand final. These are the words before he came to the minor of Crystal.
My name is Kevin Arment. My nickname is Crystal, and I'm